There we go.
We'll call the meeting in order at 6 o'clock. Roll call.
No.
McCanny?
Here.
Oh, I said roll
Here.
call. I meant the Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh, I was like, okay, we can.
I'm standing up wondering where everybody else was.
Now you're screwing her up.
Yes, sorry about that.
It's okay.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now you may do roll call.
I'm still here.
Still here.
McCanny?
Still here.
Perkins?
Yep.
Cuxy? Turpinning? Murphy?
Here.
DeSessa?
Here.
Okay,
Oh, and Collis.
yes, I'm
Oh
here.
yeah, he's still here too.
Uh-huh.
So, I had a last minute call from Kari. She had something come up. I stopped by her house to grab her, all of her notes and so forth. So I would make a motion to excuse her.
Tim Turpinning called me, said he could not arrive tonight, gave me his changes over the phone. I implemented those.
Okay, so we will add Tim Turpinning to that motion. Is there support for the two of them?
Support.
Support, Mr. DeSessa. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
I do have a question
In regards to the vote,
in regards to attendance.
okay, but
How many times within a fiscal year?
Unexcused is 2.
I would say unexcused is two. I
How
don't
many is
think there's a,
excused?
I don't
Three.
know about
Three. I think is
excused.
excused.
Is it?
Yeah.
I think.
is it three unexcused?
Three excused, 2 unexcused.
I will triple check, but I know it, I'm pretty sure it's 2 unexcused. I don't know.
It's
about
2 unexcused, 3
Okay.
excused.
That's what I think. Yeah.
So one of the things I did, it's not on our agenda, but one of the things I did be thinking about this going forward, one of the things I wanted to discuss was the meeting night and whether or not it could be moved. I don't know. I know that quite often I have, right now I'm here because I'm the chair, but I actually have 2 other things going on tonight that I could have been doing.
Understood, I'm in the same boat.
And
That's
and
why
I
I
know
came
that's what
straight from
hits,
work.
I know that's what hits Tim. So, that's something I wanted us to look at and say, is there a better night that serves the board?
This one doesn't bug me. I mean, you know, the first week of the month, I'm in a meeting every single night except for Friday.
What I'm saying,
But-
is there another place in the month that we can move it that would serve the board better?
Well, that's what I'm saying. This one
I
doesn't
mean,
bug
it
me.
has to be coordinated through the village and everything. All I'm saying is I know this night, this is not the first time I've had 3 things on the same night.
Yeah.
And I know that's what happens to Tim.
Well, that happens to me on Monday. It was zoning board of appeals with Dickens, and so.
And
But
this
one
day and time is special.
because
We're meeting a week early and an hour early.
Right.
I know, but just Thursday in general is what
I
I'm
understand.
talking about.
So there are some criteria that we have to look at, the availability of the room.
I know, there's
and
quite
it
a
has
few
to be
things.
before the council meeting. So
Well, not necessarily, because if it was after the council meeting, it's before the next council.
well, yeah.
This one, we moved on purpose for the council meeting because of,
Have this for
Conf-
council.
because of the conference.
So we would want to make a move on that pretty rapidly, because that gets approved for council, I believe, the May or June meeting for the fiscal year for the year, so.
Well, I think what we could do is look at some possible nights that would be available. And at that point, if we send an email to the commission, everybody could pick a night. What do they call those things? The survey monkey,
Survey monkey. Yeah.
Survey
where you pick all the nights that work, and if we've got one night that everybody picked,
Or maybe what days and times are the room available?
I
And then
said.
of those days, that would be the Survey Monkey of those options.
I
not
know,
so
but
much-
I said, once we look at dates available, room availability, your availability, once we coordinate that, if we find there's some dates, then we can reach out to the board.
Okay, I have that as a no.
I just know that for whatever reason, this has happened to me more than once. I should be at 3 different places tonight.
Well, so like next week is DDA meeting. I really got to go to that. School board, I don't care about.
Those are on Thursdays?
No, that's on Mondays. I'm just going through the next week.
Oh,
Village Council, Tuesday. Holly Township Parks, got to be at that.
well, that's why I say we'll have to look and see,
Yeah.
We'll put some together for you.
Yeah.
you know. And maybe it won't be. I just hate to lose people off the commission because the night continues to be a controversy.
Well, that's why I mentioned it. I can make a motion in council to extend that, because I know Carrie would, she's at her
Correct.
limit. So I would have to make a motion.
Tim might be at his limit too, because
I
he's
think
missed a
got
couple.
one more and he's at his limit.
Oh, you've been keeping track.
I have to.
Okay. I'm just,
But Carrie's at her limit, and there's no reason for her to go.
right. Well, and that's what I'm saying, it's just,
So a motion will have to be made at council to extend that.
I mean, if I wasn't the chair for this, I probably would have found myself calling off too.
Or make, just an exemption.
Yeah. Well, and in this case, even though they're not sitting here, they both did the work
Right,
And-
understood.
and submitted it,
But
so.
you look at that roll call,
Yeah.
present is present.
No, I understand. All right, so approval of the agenda. Chair would entertain a motion.
Yeah, I'll make the motion that we approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion by Jim Perkins, seconded by Josh Murphy to approve the agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approval of the minutes for March 10th. Are there any additions or deletions?
Not that I saw.
Is there a motion?
I didn't highlight anything.
I'll make the motion that we approve the minutes for the March 10th meeting as presented.
Second.
Motion by Jim Perkins, support by Josh Murphy. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Just for the record, when the chair entertains a motion, all you really need to say is so moved.
Yeah, I know, but
I know,
I'm a
just-
jerk.
Just helping. No, you're not a jerk at all. I'm just saying, not everybody knows that.
I'm just used to it.
We don't have any, well, we're on tape, so let's do the statement of purpose. Mr. McCanny, would you be so kind as to read that?
Sure. Just sing on.
You know that by heart, don't you?
No. The mission of the Holly Historic District Commission is to safeguard the heritage of the village of Holly by preserving the historic districts in the village that reflect elements of the village's history, architecture, archaeology, engineering, or culture. The goal of the Commission's work is to stabilize and improve property values in the historic districts and the surrounding areas, foster civic beauty, strengthen the local economy, and promote the use of historic districts for the education, pleasure, and the welfare of the citizens of Holly.
Thank you. We don't have a presentation tonight. We have nobody present for public comment. Our old business is to finalize these guidelines. You've got them in front of you, just so you're aware.
Love the picture on the front. That's fabulous.
There was a note in the packet to the village council that explained that we were wrapping this up and that they would get the final copy over the weekend for the purpose of their meeting on Tuesday.
I need it tonight, so that I can present it to them tomorrow morning in their packets. Their packets have already been shipped out. This is a special delivery tomorrow morning.
Okay. So, also.
I could email it to you.
I don't know
Thank
if
you,
the
sir.
message got through to you, that I had made special arrangements with the conference for the board. And that being said, I just realized that I left those things in my office. How many of you have the brochure for the conference?
I
I
need one.
do.
I have to arrange for
Okay. I
have one.
babysitting.
So I will need to get I'll need to, as soon as we're done here, I'll run and get them for you. I need you to look at them and let us know what you're interested in participating in at the conference. And we have till next Friday to do that.
Oh, for early bird?
Yep.
Thank you so much.
And we're getting it better than early bird. We're getting it at 50% off.
Oh, wow, super. We do have those flyers, so after the meeting, I'll just run over and grab them. They're right here in the village.
The little booklets? Okay.
We have them for handout.
Okay.
Oh, perfect.
So, no, the minute I said that, it's like, and they're sitting on my desk.
We have them inside.
Okay. So, let's get thoughts. I know Mike and I have worked, or Mike is doing all the work other than he and I talk about it, and I took a couple more pictures today. Do you guys have things you wanted to discuss and go through? I know that Kari has some notes here, and we will go through hers. She explained a couple of them so that I'm clear on them, so Mike and I will be able to go over those. What do you have, Mr. DeSessa?
Everything looks good to me. My only thought was if the board supported it was, and it may be in here, maybe I missed it, but I just think a couple of things that maybe the board members' names should be in here, but more importantly, George and Mike, some sort of line there. Thank you to Mike and George for preparing this document. But I think it would be nice if we had the board names in there.
No,
I mean,
Okay.
maybe in the back or something, but
well, and we definitely need to date
Well,
it.
but this is going to be a living document, right? Like online.
Right,
It's
but
going to
it's-
be so.
I don't mean to cut you off, but my thoughts on that were fine.
what?
If it's updated 2 years from now, then those names can go in it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's going to be a living document online. Like when you print it, it's going to be from that day. If we change something, it's going to be.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The document somewhere should still say the date it was created,
Yeah, it's true.
so that people
Yes.
know when it's updated.
And you can put a footer that he knows.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or maybe we could do a running roster on it.
Yeah, as it grows and changes.
2021 members, 2022 members. I
Well,
mean, if
that
it's
could be-
online,
Good idea.
That's what I'm saying. It's a living.
can
online.
say-
I think Bill's correct, just from the standpoint of it was created, and here's the board that created it. That's good. Anything else that you have?
Yeah, the section on turbines, they're not allowed in the village.
Oh, that's easy. Sweet.
So that can be completely eliminated.
All right, I can ask that. So the only
Otherwise, I'd
alternative,
have
do
it
we
in
allow
turbine.
steam? Steam power?
Well,
No. Geothermal?
yes.
Wait, steam power,
nuclear.
oh, stop, steam power what?
Generators.
Oh,
I don't see why we wouldn't. There's not an ordinance that I'm aware
No,
of.
that's
Okay,
not
so,
one that I'm
all
aware
right,
of either.
I can ask
I
that.
just wanted to clarify, because I have steam heat.
Right, that's allowed for sure.
Yeah, the only thing, because that turbine sends the wrong message. If they allowed them, I'd already have one up.
Oh, as in a wind turbine?
Mhm.
Yeah. You
That was
can't
the
have,
only thing that jumped out at me when I read through this.
now I guess I have to ask a question. In this day and age of wind power,
I know. That's
why are they not allowed in the village?
I've
Mr.
asked that question.
Mr. Watson?
Too big?
It may have been an ordinance that was created when that wasn't as acceptable as today.
1980s was when that was.
Maybe we need to talk to a councilman about getting that
The, o-
changed.
Yeah,
the only
well,
thing I would say to
I'm way
that,
ahead of you.
the only thing I would say to that is, do you really want to go down Maple and see a wind turbine in
Well,
everybody's
if
house?
that,
Yeah, but
if that
they can-
became
they
the
can be-
case, if you read this,
They can be done in such a manner that you wouldn't know. The old-
absolutely.
Our barn had 3 of them that went like this. Now, they weren't harnessing energy.
Right.
They were letting heat out of the building.
Right.
But they were still a turbine.
Yep,
Yeah.
your rotaries that were on top of your,
Yeah.
yep. Yeah,
So-
those could have been producing power.
I said they were. at the
So we'll
time.
take it out, right, for this round, we'll take it
Yeah,
out.
because we're, as of right now, but
Okay. Piece of
I'm
cake.
working on something to change.
Yeah, okay.
Same with solar
And
setups.
anything else? Anything else, notes?
No, I found nothing else that jumped out
No,
at me.
no
and said-
punctuation errors, no misspelled words?
I generally don't.
I deferred to
I'm not
him
the
for that
punctuation
today.
I turned to my wife for,
Well, Tim pointed out a couple sentences that were off, and I fixed those.
Yeah, and Tim had a good point. Tell him about the paragraph, or the sentence that he added, Jeremy, you'll like this.
And you didn't catch it.
Oh, always,
not
for
every-
any projects in the village, contact village offices to,
Thank
oh,
you.
If
Yes,
you don't see
we
it in the
added it
book
in
and
there.
you're thinking of, call anyway to be, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep,
when in doubt.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
just told somebody that they're buying a house in town, and they were asking me questions. They're like, call the village offices, and they said, well, can I do this? And I'm like, I don't know. Just call them, and they'll be able to direct
Did you have any corrections or comments on that?
You don't
No,
want
I
to
didn't have
write out the
anything
wrong-
highlighted at all.
Did you read it? Did you look at it?
I always read it. You know that.
Okay,
Next.
now we'll go to the critique captain,
Yes.
So
Mr. Watson.
you will be pleased, I did not find any errors.
Now, that just bodes well for Mr. McCanny.
I made most of my errors, and I see they were all corrected
Yes.
at the last meeting. So, other than the page numbers, I seen you made a note, though, that those will be corrected on the original,
Yeah.
and that they line up with the table of contents. I did think that we talked about our definitions page, but it sounds like when you read through it,
Becomes
it really
self-explanatory.
breaks it down in the reading as a definition. So, I don't know, I think it may be redundancy, but a pretty thorough packet. It may be even
Agreed.
overdone if that's,
If
that's a
anything.
possible
Yeah.
thing. But very descriptive. If somebody would sit down and read the entire packet, I felt like they'd be knowledgeable in the process.
Okay, Megan? I will give you an opportunity to speak.
Oh, I appreciate it. No, I'm good.
Okay,
Thank you.
Obviously, the highlights too, that were already created in the document you're changing, that referenced Linden.
Yes.
But that, those were the obvious.
I
that
think
see.
those are all gone.
we did get new, we added a couple, did the photos from today end up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we added the new photos. We did keep two old photos. One is in flat roof reference, only because I couldn't think of a flat roof out here that had been, that we have. That doesn't mean we don't, I just couldn't think of one.
So the entire downtown is flat roof, just hidden
Yeah.
by parapet walls. So if you go down Alley Street.
But I'm saying one that's been redone.
I redid the one
The
on,
train depot was just redone in the last couple of years.
The train depot.
Or not the depot, the model railroad.
The old train.
No, them up
Model
here.
railroad.
Oh,
I
the
put a
old
new roof
theater.
on it.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yep.
Okay.
And the cafe, I put a new roof on that too.
Oh, okay, so we could go out and get a current, and then what was the other one? Awnings. Has
We don't
anybody put in any
have any
redone?
awnings.
I said,
Didn't someone just do one? on
there are a
Saturday?
couple of awnings that exist, but they're old awnings, but I don't know if anybody's.
I know Linda was talking about doing it, but she hasn't done it. Obviously, hasn't
So
done
we
it
kept,
yet.
the whole point is the picture was supposed to show the application, and we used the
Yeah,
old
so
picture.
I moved that picture to another area that made more sense because it didn't have awnings on it. So
Yeah, and it was funny, Mike and I talked about the pictures, and I was gonna go get one, and as I walked out of the office and looked up, I took a picture of something he and I didn't talk about, and that was the brick application between Hoffman's building and the building next to it, the new versus the old, and the repair up the side, and it just seemed to speak to the whole area, so that got added in there. So we pretty much covered the bases. I wanted to get a picture of Blackthorn and Artichoke because of the work they did on the front of those buildings, but you can't see them with all the cars parked there.
yeah.
So we used Hoffman's building. And if you guys were around when he tore that T111 siding off of there, were you here when that happened?
And it exposed those.
That was right before me.
I'd love to
Pillars.
have a before picture of that because that was incredible. I'll
Yeah.
have to see if he's got those.
I'm sure he does.
He does.
Yeah,
I'm sure
I do want to put together a couple of, probably 4 poster boards to be able to put up on easels for the conference so they can see some of the incredible historic preservation that we've done.
So if you can give me the photos, I've already created name tags for everybody on the HGC commission. We ordered the lanyards today, and the tags, Nick and I are still, almost got them fine tuned, so you will get those before before the conference. Whether or not we have a meeting before that, I don't think we will, but
Yeah.
we'll get them to you in the mail or drop them off at the house as soon as they're done.
Okay.
So I wanted to point out a style thing, which I think is pretty clever. But so the beginning of the sections of this is the Secretary of State Interior's section, and that is a direct copy from the website from the Secretary of Interior's. And typically, when we do anything inside the village, it always usually falls into rehabilitating or rehabbing the historic buildings. But, you know, in our training, it was brought up that there's several other treatments. There's the preservation, the restoration, and then there's one more. Reconstruction. And those have different values and different recommended treatments and stuff. But if you also notice, it's all, the front part is all in one paragraph, one page format. And then when we switch over to our district guidelines, this blank page goes away. It goes into 2 columns. So it kind of separates those two, as one is federal and one is local. It's kind of, I only pointed out because it was really difficult to maintain that without it messing up all the other formatting of the document. It's a bit of a fiddle, but we got it done. And then I discovered why the page numbers weren't coming over, and that was it's a difference between versions of Microsoft Word. I'm doing it on a certain version, and when I shipped it to George, he put it into his version, and it redid everything according to its primary template layout. So that's why things
But it printed
went.
it correctly when you sent it as a PDF.
Yeah, so I froze it into a. So this is a good tip. So I froze it in a PDF and then emailed the PDF over, and that locked everything in, and it wouldn't change the margins. And so I looked at the printed thing, and I'm like, wait, I fixed that somehow. It's not. But
So we also, we decided, as part of the guidelines, to reword that back section so that there's a sentence in there that says you can pick up copies of the building permits. And
It's already part of the document, I've already got them, so once Mike gives me his version, I'm gonna go ahead and include the accessory structures, the fence, and a building permit. So it'll all be stapled to the package, so when people come in.
You didn't let me finish.
I'm sorry.
So we talked about not doing that.
Oh,
In the book, it will say, it'll talk about those documents, and then it will inform them to pick them up from the village office, because otherwise, down the road, you're gonna end up with somebody that come in and say, well, I took the document out of the book. Yeah, well, we've updated those, now you gotta change.
so we have a couple of these documents already, accessory structures, wood deck structures, pools and hot tubs and spas. And we already include the necessary permits with those packets. So anytime we go through several in a month.
okay,
so-
yeah, but you're going to manage the versions on your end. I didn't want to put them inside the document itself and
I
freeze it.
understand. So,
Yeah.
yeah, when we make copies at the office to hand out to the public, those documents will
Okay.
be attached.
Right,
Nice.
that's what I'm saying, we're not gonna include them in the guidelines, we'll keep them separate. In the guidelines, it'll just say to get those documents from the village.
Yep,
And we figured that for long-term management, that was a cleaner way to go.
absolutely, agreed.
Okay. I think we've covered everything.
Mr. Cullis, I found a punctuation error.
Sweet.
Oh, now he reads it.
No, I did. I can't believe I missed it before.
Oh, good line.
It does. Whatever, man. It says page 1, but let's go to page 1, 2, 4. Right in the middle, it says it's just a quoting error. It says standards of rehabilitation quote are listed in boldface, typed under the quote, and then entered.
What's on the very top of the page?
The guidelines for rehabilitating historic buildings.
Past the introduction?
Yeah, it's page 4.
They're all
there's
page
a
ones.
there's a. I see. It's a
You
break.
see what I'm saying? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just an error. So I just had to trump Jeremy over there for a minute.
Okay,
Yeah, it's just on the other side of recommended.
Yeah, it's just
It's a formatting. Yeah.
yeah.
okay. Set.
He's just being a pain in the side.
That's exactly what I was doing. Yeah.
No, well, after a while you get blind. I've
Well, you
looked at
do,
this
when you
for
see
so
it, you
long.
do.
Doubt about
You
it.
just
Yeah.
can't. You know, I've
That's
tried
why-
to read it from stem to stern, and
That's
it's
why it
very,
takes
uh,
many
You wanna
eyes,
gouge
Yeah.
your eyeballs out, but
fresh eyes.
Done.
like, I gotta go away. So my only concern is that
Recommended section.
Oh, this is all.
Well, maybe it's not, because it comes from the Lindens. It should be vetted, right? This isn't like, we're not cooking ourselves into a corner or giving some guidelines that are impossible to manage or for residents to
Understand.
achieve.
Yeah.
That's my only concern. I guess we just have to, I mean, it's always modifiable, because I know the guy that wrote it, so I can just tell him. But,
Yeah, but what we have in here, first of
We
all,
go
is
way back.
predicated on the Secretary of the Interior.
the front part is, yes.
Yeah.
That's
What were you referencing?
our guideline, the Holly district portion of it. I just wanted to make sure we weren't getting ourselves into a big trick bag, but I think it's already been ran through the Linden's situation, and I just
But
took
it's been
some.
ran through ours too, we've all read it.
Right. That was just my only.
No, no, I think we're good. Plus,
Uneasiness.
the village council's gonna read it. They're gonna have a document to go over, and they'll be able to raise flags, and I will be at that meeting, Jerry asked me.
Okay. I just need
Well, good.
email addresses. I can email it right now.
We got some more last minute changes now.
Oh, that's true. Never mind. I'll do it tonight.
Well, I'll give you my contact so you can have it.
Okay.
Okay, was there anything else? Plus, you gotta add names of the board and that stuff.
Yeah.
So we got a couple more things to do. So I gotta go through here. Kari's got a couple of notes as well.
Oh, yeah. Party stuff.
But we can go through that. We don't have to waste the board. Is there anything else?
I just want to say, I agree with Jeremy that sometime down the road, not for this iteration, it would be nice to see like a glossary at some point, maybe. But I get it, not for this one.
Yeah, I had trouble finding words to put into the glossary, because you have to flag them different.
Yeah.
So if we run into trouble, we can just always add the
Well, I
glossary.
think the real ones were like bulkhead, transom, and then you break it down very well. I mean, you have
And we
arrows
gave
that direct
pictures.
it right to it with
Yeah.
pictures,
Yeah.
and then if you read the paragraph, it talks about what it is, so.
Well, and
I think
at
it
the
really
same
breaks it.
time, this is the day and age of Google.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna look at
Most people are gonna Google
transoms.
before they glossary anyway.
And there is, I did add another drawing.
We could put a page that says Google, that says glossary, see Google.
See Google. Yeah.
Yeah, so right where it starts for guidelines for existing non-residential businesses, there's a highlighted area for a picture, and that is a drawing of the storefront that has the facade and the transom and the bulkhead and all the pieces of the facade all pointed out again
Okay,
in a nice little drawing. So I thought that was really good. So
yep.
I think you guys did a good job for the first one. I don't think Holly's ever had one of these, so
We haven't.
I think it's good. It's going to eliminate and probably cause a lot of discussion, but it's going to eliminate some other discussions about nobody knew and we didn't know we couldn't do that, and
Why is this guy
hopefully
giving me a ticket?
I never give tickets. I
No,
always
you know what I'm
educate.
saying, no.
I always educate.
Yep.
And then I will give you a violation.
But now they
notice
don't have an
and complaint.
excuse.
well, and it also just brings the awareness level up, and
Well,
hopefully
that's
the
it.
value
I mean,
of
if
it.
you buy into a historical district, you better understand what you're doing.
One of the things we're gonna wanna do is we're gonna, when this is completed, we're gonna wanna supply an address list to the township office, treasurer's office, so that when people come in and file there's a paper they file when they buy the house. And when they file that paper, the township would be able to look at that address and go, oh, you're on the list. and
You're
give
talking
them-
about when the title work, when they file with the county or the
Or they
city
can
or
apply
whatever.
for the
Yeah.
homestead.
Or when you have to do that
Well,
too.
but it happens right when they purchase the
It's
home.
right
Right.
then.
They have so many days to come in and file that paper.
The title company hands you a piece of paper and you
Yeah,
have to go.
if you don't, then you're out. You
But
can't
I'm
apply
just
for
saying,
homestead.
if the township has it, then it's a quick, they can figure out how to enter it into their computer, or they can handle it however they want to, as long as they're supplied the information.
That brings Mr. Cullis.
Yeah.
That brings me to our next thing.
Oh,
About
under
the
board comments? Okay, we can go to
The-
board comments.
Oh no, but this is exactly what we were talking about.
I just, you were talking about the real estate deal.
Well, yeah, kind of the historic district being a real estate thing. So I was transferred to the state. Now I was at GMAR and then Knockbor, North Oakland County Realtor Association, and then now they sent me to the state. I think you're gonna have to get involved at this point because I can only call during lunch, and
Okay.
everybody's at lunch.
So sit down and give me that information. We'll
that's
pick
what I
it
just-
up and
yeah.
Go from there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have nothing, sir.
Okay, Mr.
Fine document.
Yes.
Mr. DeSessa
Nope, nothing further.
and Mr. McCann.
Thanks for your extra time and the extra meeting. Thank you for your help.
Okay. And we'll go over to Mr. Watson
No comment?
and Megan.
No comment.
I say Megan instead of Miss because I don't know your last name.
Oh, Jones.
Oh,
Just call
Very.
it.
that's almost the easiest one to remember.
Just
What
call
pops
it
in your
Smith.
head as soon as you hear that last name?
Huh?
Mr. Jones.
Damn straight.
Okay. And nothing
You were
else?
gonna grab something for us after the meeting, George?
Jeremy's gonna
I'm
get
go
it.
grab it.
Okay.
We'll close the meeting at 6:31.